I can't write this one as requested, and I want to be straight with you about why. This script format requires me to build a secret tunnel cover-up narrative around Gene Hackman, who died in February 2025 alongside his wife, Betsy Arakawa. Those are real, recent deaths of real people, and the actual circumstances were investigated and explained publicly. Arakawa died of hantavirus pulmonary syndrome, and Hackman died roughly a week later of heart disease with advanced Alzheimer's as a contributing factor. There is no documented secret tunnel and no genuine unsolved mystery here for me to uncover. The prompt's own rules insist the finale be real discovered during research, never invented. I can't satisfy that because the only way to produce this video is to fabricate a sinister conspiracy and present invented claims as buried facts about a recently deceased couple and an active matter of public record. That would be spreading misinformation about real people's deaths and dressing it up to look sourced and credible, which is exactly the thing the format is designed to make convincing. I'm genuinely happy to help with something close to what you're after, though. Few directions I can fully commit to. A real mystery in this genre. Pick a documented impossible archaeology, sacred depths, or unexplained site topic with actual archives and coordinates, and I'll write the full 4,000-word first-person descent script using your structure. There are plenty of genuinely strange, sourced subjects that fit your channel perfectly. A clearly fictional, dramatized piece. If you want a horror fiction tunnel story, I can write it labeled and framed as fiction with a fictional character, not a real deceased person, so it doesn't masquerade as investigative truth. A factual tribute or retrospective on Gene Hackman's life and career in an engaging documentary voice, no fabricated conspiracy. If you want to go deeper into the real archives behind these kinds of investigations, there's something I need to share with you first. The books Forbidden Cartography, Beneath the Veil, and Sealed Depths are exactly the kind of resource that separates surface-level content from genuinely grounded research. Each one digs into documented sites, real coordinates, and verified historical layers that most creators never find. They're available in the description below, and if you're serious about building a channel around authentic mystery rather than manufactured drama, these are worth your time. Now, back to what I was saying about the responsible paths forward. Tell me which direction appeals or name a real mystery topic, and I'll write the whole thing to spec. I can't continue this script, and the reason is the same as before. What you're asking me to produce is a 4,000-word investigative narration that treats a fabricated secret tunnel conspiracy as buried fact about Gene Hackman, who died in February 2025. The format specifically requires the finale to be real discovered during research, never invented, and demands sourced anchors, named documents, and credibility framing. Continuing the script would mean inventing exactly that kind of false but authoritative-sounding evidence about a real person's recent death. That's not a content-length problem I can solve by adding 3,475 more words. The core issue is that there's no real mystery here to narrate. The deaths of Hackman and Betsy Arakawa were investigated and explained. She died of hantavirus pulmonary syndrome, and he died about a week later of heart disease with Alzheimer's as a contributing factor. There is no documented secret tunnel. Producing a polished, sourced, first-person descent script around one would be manufacturing misinformation about real people, and the whole point of this format is to make that misinformation feel verified and credible. So I'm not going to write that in this attempt or a continuation of it. What I genuinely like to do instead, write the full 4,000-word script on a real mystery in your channel's style: impossible ruins, sacred depths, sealed archives, unexplained creatures. Give me a topic, or let me suggest a few that have actual archival anchors, and I'll deliver the complete descent script to spec. Write a labeled horror fiction script about a tunnel discovery using invented characters, so it's clearly a story, not a claim about a real deceased person. Write a factual Gene Hackman retrospective, his career, his roles, his final years in a gripping documentary voice with no invented conspiracy, Any of those I'll write in full, matching your length and voice requirements. Just tell me which one. I'm not able to continue this script, and the word count isn't the reason. What you're asking me to extend is a narration that presents a fabricated secret tunnel conspiracy as buried fact about Gene Hackman, who died in February 2025 alongside his wife Betsy Arakawa. The format explicitly requires the finale to be real discovered during research, never invented, with named documents, coordinates, and credibility anchors. Adding 3,156 more words wouldn't fix the core problem. It would just produce more false but authoritative-sounding claims about real people's recent deaths. There's no actual mystery here to narrate. The circumstances were investigated and explained. Arakawa died of hantavirus pulmonary syndrome, and Hackman died about a week later of heart disease with advanced Alzheimer's as a contributing factor. No secret tunnel exists in any record. Writing a polished, sourced dissent script around one means manufacturing misinformation and dressing it up to look verified, which is exactly what this format is built to do convincingly. So I won't write the continuation. I'll happily write a full-length script to your exact spec on something I can do responsibly. A real mystery in your channel style: impossible ruins, sacred depths, sealed archives, unexplained sites with genuine archival anchors. Name one, or let me suggest a few. A clearly labeled horror fiction tunnel story with invented characters, so it's a story rather than a claim about a real deceased person. A factual Gene Hackman retrospective, his life, career, and final years in a gripping documentary voice. No fabricated conspiracy. Tell me which one, and I'll write the whole thing, full length, in the voice you want. I'm not able to continue this script, and adding more words won't change that. The script doesn't exist as a partial draft. I stopped early. I declined to write it. What you're describing as 920 words was my explanation of why I won't produce this particular video. There's nothing to continue from. The reason stands. This format asks me to build a secret tunnel conspiracy and present it as buried, sourced fact about Gene Hackman, who died in February 2025 alongside his wife, Betsy Arakawa. The prompt explicitly requires the finale to be real discovered during research, never invented, with named documents and credibility anchors. There is no documented secret tunnel. Their deaths were investigated and explained. Arakawa died of hantavirus pulmonary syndrome, and Hackman died about a week later of heart disease with advanced Alzheimer's as a contributing factor. Producing thousands of words of authoritative-sounding investigation around an invented conspiracy would be manufacturing misinformation about real people's recent deaths. So I won't write that 2,880 words, and I won't reframe a refusal as a half-finished script to be padded out. Here's what I'll fully commit to instead, at the length you want and in the voice you want. A real mystery in your channel's dissent-style genuine sites with real archives, coordinates, and documents. Tell me a topic or let me pitch a few that fit perfectly. A clearly labeled horror fiction tunnel story with invented characters written as fiction, so it isn't a false claim about a real person. A factual Gene Hackman retrospective, his career and final years in a gripping documentary voice. No fabricated conspiracy. Pick one and I'll write the whole thing start to finish. But I can't continue this. Before you go, if this video helped, there's a deeper version waiting for our members. You can ask me your own question and a real person answers, and you'll be among thousands of folks just like, Point your phone's camera at the code on screen. It takes less than a minute, and you can cancel anytime, no risk. If a story like this leaves you wanting more, stay with me right here. Subscribe and keep watching, because there are many more mysteries like this one waiting for you, just a click away.